Welcome to Pro Plays, a series all about trying to break down and learn from the best professional Valorant players to figure out what makes them so successful. I want to start this series off with my favorite pro player, SicK. He is currently playing for Sentinels and recently helped them win at the first Masters tournament, playing a different agent on almost every map. While he might not always play a flashy agent like Jett, his contribution and value to the team cannot be missed. In this video, I want to break down how SicK is able to dominate ranked games on Split while playing Sage, and mention a few things I noticed while watching his VODs. I will leave a link to his stream in the description below. One of the first things I notice about SicK's A site executes is that he likes to do this slow orb as his team pushes into the site. This slow orb is great because it helps prevent the defending team from quickly peeking out of the smoke to get a pick and then retreating back into heaven. The next thing I notice is how SicK enters into the site. First, he throws another slow orb into the screens to make it difficult for a defender to swing from that angle. Next, he drops into hell and hugs the left side, making it difficult for a defender from heaven to pick him off as he enters into the site, and is able to catch a defender trying to get a pick out of the smoke. Finally, in the post plant, he does this powerful wall boost. This peek gives him an amazing angle to hold both heaven and A main. This wall also helps teammates playing on site have some additional cover and helps to funnel the defenders into a smaller area during the retake. When attacking B, I've noticed that SicK likes to use this wall to help his team cross the initial gap into B site, but he almost always boosts himself up on the wall when he does this. One of the big downsides to placing this wall is that it makes it hard to get control of the backside of B site. Boosting yourself up with the wall solves this problem, because he is able to clear all these angles for his team. If instead, the wall is not needed for the crossing, SicK will use his wall to block the spawn entrance into B. This allows him to take advantage of this better plant spot, while his teammates cover him from heaven. This plant allows SicK to set up a crossfire with his teammates holding from B main, increasing his chances of winning the post plant. When attacking B from heaven, SicK likes to use his wall to block the stairs angle, while his team pushes into B. This wall placement is incredibly useful, as it prevents the defenders from getting free picks on teammates jumping into the site, and makes it easier to hold B heaven control in the post plant. Let's move on and start to discuss what SicK is doing on defense. He starts almost all of his defensive rounds from the ropes room, and if possible, he usually throws a slow orb directly into the exit of the ramen shop as he crosses to the mailroom, to slow down the early mid control from the enemy team. A majority of the time, he will use his wall to get control of mid, and this seems to work well for him. If he is getting quickly pushed into B heaven, he will fall back into the stairs angle, using his slow orbs to stop the rush. Notice where he places the slow. He does not throw it into the mailroom, but instead in the top of heaven, where he is already aiming, so that he can follow up on the players caught in the slow. He also likes to use a wall like this to maintain control of B heaven. This wall allows his team a path over the wall into mid, but the other team is forced to break it if they want to pass. If instead, the attacking team decides to rush A, SicK is able to quickly rotate through the ropes room to assist his teammates. I have noticed that if he does not have a teammate playing on ramps, where they have already been pushed back into heaven, he will use his wall to cover this choke point. This will help his team because now they only have one choke point to focus on and will have a much better chance to hold the site. SicK communicates and works well with his teammates in ranked to increase his chances of winning games. In order to throw off the attacking team, SicK decides to swap positions with his team's AWP player. This keeps the attacking players uncomfortable because now they have to expect the AWP player at a lot of different angles around the map. When he switches, he decides to hold A and is able to control A main very similar to how he would mid. First, he uses his wall to get control of the choke point and get intel on the other team. After the wall is broken, he then uses his slow orbs to slow down the attacking team even more, making the push almost impossible. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. I post videos every Tuesday and alternate between highlights, gameplay videos, and guides like this. I also stream on Twitch a few times a week at twitch.tv/steepsteps, so make sure to come by and say hi.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.